Hey, welcome back to Rock Stardust. My name's Robbie, and today we are going to have a look at what I call the outstanding guitar players that can actually really sing as well. So I've always been interested in this, playing guitar myself and singing, but I've always been impressed by all rounders. You know, it's one thing to play the guitar brilliantly. But it's another thing to be able to sing really great as well. So it's an interesting one. It could also go the other way a little bit, but primarily this is a list of some of my favorite guitar players that I think are great singers as well. So, real true all-rounders. So there's a mix there. So look, starting off, obviously you're going to have your thoughts as well, which is cool. And there'll be some missing, and that's where I'd love you to put your comments in the comment section to share your thoughts, and because there is a lot out there. These are just my personal favorites, and it was hard to even condense them down to, I think I've got 12 here. Yeah, so do that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, and hit the like button if you like this kind of thing. So let's kick it off with I've got number 12 here. Eric Clapton. All right, straight away he's got Eric Clapton. Okay, so there's no doubting his guitar playing ability, but I've always enjoyed his singing as well, even going back to the Cream days. But I think that's something that he developed, and particularly on tracks like Layla and stuff like that. He sings with a lot of strength. And there's a lot of there's a lot of strength, but there's a lot of feeling as well. He's definitely more than just a guitar player. Also, next on that list, I've got Sammy Hagar. Now, Sammy is an outstanding singer. I really like his voice. He's got a lot of power. Sings from the heart. But what's surprising is how really strong on the guitar he is. He's a very good guitar player. So I only sort of got into that more recently, in the sense that I've got Montrose album there, and Ronnie Montrose is amazing, and he was singing with him and when he was younger. But when you look at Sammy's solo career, he does some great playing as well. So he was a real all-rounder. So he definitely deserves a mention. I'll put Jeff Buckley at number 10. No question, he's an amazing singer, but he's also a fine guitar player, and in many respects you have to dig a bit deeper, but like all that great stuff on Grace. But it's a shame he died so young, because I'd love to have seen that guitar playing explored more. Real bluesy, but he was highly trained. So I've got Jeff Buckley on the list. At number 9, I've got Peter Frampton, recently inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. About bloody time. But Peter Frampton, fine guitar player. Years of playing, and Humble Pie and all sorts of different things he's done, but a lot of solo records, and obviously Frampton Comes Alive, and he's a true all-rounder. He's a classy guitar player, and he's a very good singer, and melodic. I've put Robert Cray at number 8. I've always liked Robert Cray, and I really dig his clean sort of funky blues guitar playing, and I think his voice is awesome as well. From that blues heritage, but he's pretty smooth. So there's Robert Cray. At number 7, I've got Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac. No question, Lindsey, to me, very underrated guitar player. I think his parts in Fleetwood Mac, the classic albums, his solos and his playing and the arrangements is outstanding. But he's also a very fine singer, and his voice contributes so much to that Fleetwood Mac sound. So we've got Fleetwood Mac there. So Lindsey Buckingham. number 7. At number 6, I've got an artist that a lot of you from outside of Australia and New Zealand would probably not know. It's a guy called Mark Lazotki, or known as Diesel. Started off as Johnny Diesel and Injectors. Just a super cool, awesome blues rock guitar player, and he's got a mean set of chops on him. Really, really soulful, raspy voice. So that's Diesel, Johnny Diesel. And at number 5, I've put Richie Sambora. Richie Sambora, man. Now that cat can play, and you only have to hear his singing, even on those key parts of Dead or Alive, you know, Bon Jovi, and the harmonies he did with John Bon Jovi. But then you listen to his solo stuff, and particularly When a Blind Man Cries by Deep Purple. That version, he sounds amazing. Not only is his guitar playing fearsome and very melodic, but his voice is just so soulful and bluesy, raspy rock. It's really good. At number 4, I've got another Australian, Ian Moss from Cold Chisel. I've talked about him on my Overlooked Guitar Player list that I did, so you can check that out. Outstanding guitar player, so unique, amazing runs, just incredible feel. Like, he's one of my all-time favorite players, and his voice is exceptional, just so soulful. And you know, Jimmy Barnes is in that band, so he's the power, you know, freight train voice with a lot of soul. But Ian Moss can really sing, so he's a fantastic all-rounder again. All right, and at number 3, I've got the great BB King, right? How can you deny BB King? You know, such a amazing minimalist blues style with great feel, and just this huge voice, you know, BB King. Larger than life, and a superb all-rounder. So that's BB King at 3. At number 2, I've got the great George Benson, and he has to be on this list because he's a phenomenal guitar player, one of the greatest guitar players ever, but his voice is also super, super smooth and super slick and soulful, and that style of his is just great. And yeah, it baffles me, his guitar playing, but when you you know, from that jazz perspective, but when you listen to his singing, you know, he's got massive chops either way. So another awesome all-rounder. And at number 1 on this list, I've put Prince, and I think that's a worthy addition. The guy finally got a lot of juice before, you know, obviously recently died, but his guitar playing is just amazing. And he could sing so, like, incredibly, like he had so many variations to his voice. So he's an absolute phenomenon and a talent, obviously, aside from everything else he can do, play every instrument in the book, you know, write amazing songs. But yeah, true all-rounder, great guitar player, singer. I'll put him at number 1. Look, that's my top 12. And as I said, I'm sure you'll have some thoughts on that, and please do add your favourites in there as well. I really appreciate that. But also I want to touch on a couple of points too. There's few people on this list that I haven't put in who I absolutely love, like Rory Gallagher, you know, who I don't think is quite up to it vocally, right? So yes, an all-rounder, but it had to be at that scale where I felt they were really great at both, you know? And the same with Jimi Hendrix. So a little controversial from that perspective, but that's the way I looked at it. It had to be sort of, you know, A grade on both. So yeah, I'd be keen to see your thoughts. Drop your favourites in down there in your list. Yeah, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. That would be a big help to me to make more vids and keep you up to date. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this take on the all-rounders. And we'll catch you next time. Cheers.